Did I find a book that is better than Anne of Green Gables? Let's dive in. So, so many people know about Anne of Green Gables. It's like one of the things that gets talked about or recommended to people, or people know about Anne with an E. I like the original trilogy from decades ago, but so many people don't realize that Ellen Montgomery didn't just write the Anne of Green Gables books. She wrote other books. She wrote Emily of New Moon, which is a trilogy. She wrote The Story Girl and a sequel to that, or something like a sequel. I haven't read them yet. She wrote like 20 novels or something like that. And she wrote The Blue Castle. And I don't know. Okay, so I have slightly, possibly unpopular opinion, but I did not like Anne of Green Gables growing up, or like, I liked the movies, but I didn't want to watch them over and over again. And I tried to read the book as a kid, and I just couldn't get into it because I'd already seen the movie. So I felt like I didn't need to read the book. And it only wasn't till like a year or two ago, somewhere around there, that I finally read the book out loud to my mom. I was like, Mom, this is a classic. I know we both struggle with it, but let's read it. So I read it to her, and of course I enjoyed it. It's, it's classic. It's well written. It's got big words in it. It's, it's good literature. But at the same time, it was like, okay, like, I don't get it why people love it, Well, people have been recommending this book to me. Well, at least a couple people had recommended this book to me, and said that they thought I would like it. And so Blue Castle is about someone who turns 29 and is still single. And a few years ago, when it was first recommended to me, I was like, you know what, I think I'll wait till I'm 29 and then I'll read it, and if I'm still single, it'll really resonate with me. And I was right. But I didn't realize, or had forgotten, that she also turns 29 in May. I turned 29 in May. So that was another level of like, wow, this is very real, this is very relevant to me. And then just starting out to read it, it was like page 1, it says, where is it? One does not sleep well sometimes when one is 29 on the morrow and unmarried, in a community and connection where the unmarried are simply those who have failed to get a man. And I was like, bro, way to call me out. So, yeah, I had to read this book. So I really enjoyed it. I found it super relatable. There's a part that made me scared, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to make sure this has a happy ending before I read the rest of it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna look online and spoil myself. So I did spoil myself, but I was like, okay, phew, I can read this book. If you read the first several chapters, you'll know what I mean. You'll be like, oh, I hope this ends okay. I hope this ends well. But it has a happy ending. I will just say that. And so, but yeah, getting into it, it's like, oh my goodness, this is so real, this is so relatable. And like, if you're an introvert, if you've just kind of let other people walk over you, if you've been a people pleaser, your entire life, if you've been afraid and like had social anxiety, or like just different things, like, you might find this book really relatable. And okay, I will share a secret of like perhaps one reason why I didn't like Anne of Green Gables when I was a kid and teenager, is because when I was a teenager, I was kind of like, there can only be one me, and Anne was too relatable to me in a way that was painful. And so I just didn't like reading about Anne's trials because it hurt too much, because it was relatable. That's probably why I also didn't like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, was because, she's too much like me. I don't know, like, I don't understand Myung-mi's logic there. I will leave that up to you to decipher, but, I've come around. I'm an adult now. I can, like, admit that, like, oh, there's other people out there like me. There's characters out there who are like me. So maybe that's also why I was able to really enjoy The Blue Castle too, because not only was it that, I was the same age as the character when I was reading it, but also it was just like I was in the same place in life as the character when I was reading it. But anyway, so I highly recommend this book. I actually liked it so much that I went and made my own edition. So this is my edition that I made. I formatted it myself. Yeah, because I'm a writer, and also I know how to format things, and I was really annoyed with some of the self-published Amazon versions of this book that have AI covers, bad formatting on the inside, and I was like, dude, I can do better than that. So I made my own edition, because it's public domain, so it's like so much better. And I also don't like tiny print, so I wanted to make something that didn't have tiny print. So anyway, I didn't mean to like make this into a marketing video for my own product, but like I recommend this book whether or not you buy this copy. But I will leave the link in the description down below if you are interested. And if you don't want to try to navigate all the editions of the book and try to figure out what has good formatting and what doesn't have an AI cover on it and stuff, because AI is stupid, and I don't think the author of this book would have liked AI. I don't think she would have liked knowing that people were using AI to make book covers for her book. So anyway, I don't know how controversial any of that is, but I'm just gonna leave that there. But yeah, some things that I also really liked about this book, besides its relatability, like, to the main character, was kind of like how it navigated religion and like Christian faith and living in a community of religious hypocrites. And it kind of opened my eyes in a way, because like I grew up in the church, I'm still a Christian, but it's just really interesting reading a book from that time period. So it was written in the 1920s, and I think it was just really interesting reading about this community where so many people are just very legalistic and very very hypocritical, or not, maybe not, I'm not sure if hypocritical is the right word, but like snobby and gossipy, and just like making up things about people who just because they're outcasts. And it was interesting because it was amazing just realizing how some of that feels like it echoes today sometimes, like even though it's not necessarily intended that way, like for instance how single people can feel ostracized. And I appreciate how this book touches on that, and how like singleness depression is a real thing, because that is so real and not enough people talk about that. So like this book is super relevant to today, I feel like. And also just like how, so many people nowadays feel like they haven't lived their life, or they haven't accomplished anything, and I feel like this book can be really encouraging and validating in that, like, you're 29, you haven't done anything with your life, that's okay. Like, you can choose now to do something. Like, you don't have to wait for anyone's approval. You can just go out and have adventures. And I just think that was really encouraging to read. And so anyway, I'm happy now that I have this edition of the book, because the edition that I had that someone gave to me, don't feel bad if you're watching this. It had not the best formatting. I mean, she already knows that I told her later, but gently. But and yeah, so I wanted to make my own edition. So there, I did it. Okay. Yeah, subscribe if you want to. Comment if you're curious. Tell me if you've read any other Ellen Montgomery books besides Anne of Green Gables. Because I'm going to read more. I'm going to read The Story Girl next, hopefully, and see if I like it as much as The Blue Castle. Okay, bye!